try.
Welcome back to another edition of Texas Local Live. I'm your host, Ben Martinek, and tonight we've got Mr. Rob Redwine up on stage with us. How you doing, sir?
Good, buddy. How about you?
I'm doing excellent today, man. Doing really good. I'll cheers to you, actually, for the evening.
Heck yeah.
Get a little beer up here.
I didn't know if you wanted labels in the shot or not, so.
It's just a green bottle. We don't know who makes that. That's
Yeah,
There's at least
it's non-alcoholic,
there's
Mom.
two beer. Say hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. So, man, I got to tell you, I checked out the website. I usually like to, when we do the interviews, I like to not listen to the artist. I like to hear them here first.
Sure.
Just unless I've already heard something in passing. I listen to music all the time, obviously. But man, you are a writer. To say the least, you're a writer.
I fake it really well.
You
know?
do a damn good job of faking it if that's what you're doing, man. You got some books published. You got hundreds of songs written and then co-written. I mean, countless probably after that. But
I don't even know how many I've co-written, actually.
yeah. Hey, man, that's all right. It's just, it's practice and you're honing it, man, every day, right?
As long as the name gets around, that's all that matters, I guess.
That's what it's about, man.
Yeah.
So I got to ask you, with the experience under the belt, why music? What got you to this career?
Man, it's funny because the book stuff came after the music side of it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to. So the first book, the inspiration for the first book was I had just a bunch of songs that literally were wadded up on paper-wise and just thrown in the trash can and everything else. I thought, man, I need to do something with these. They just didn't make it into songs. Do something with them. And then I was thinking about the fact that I'm a big fan of like Shel Silverstein and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And man, he writes books. He wrote, I don't even know how many books Shel had written in the time.
Yeah.
Not to mention he recorded a lot of wonderful songs that a lot of people cut, and nobody knows Shel Silverstein actually wrote those songs and everything else. But anyway, I was always a fan of him, and I thought, man, let me go check it out and see if I can actually do that.
Yeah.
And then I started talking to some people that were in the publishing business and everything else, and got kind of everything I needed to know about doing that first one.
Yeah.
And so that first one was just book of poetry, and then a lot of artwork. My daughter at the time, she was maybe 6 years old or whatever else, but she was real artsy-fartsy and creative and everything else. And a lot of things that she was doing were matching a lot of the poetry and everything else. So I thought, well, I'll just put all this together and see what happens kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And it worked. It really worked. It did well. It did well enough for itself that it funded like 2 records of mine, actually.
Wow.
And
Crazy.
And 3, 4, I guess almost 5 years now later, I had the inspiration. I'm gonna do an actual book this time, with not pictures and things like that.
Yeah.
And this one's just is going crazy. It's selling like hotcakes, man. I'm
Dude, that's
really
amazing.
stoked about it, man.
That's really cool, man. Yeah, that is just a dynamic that I've yet to see from a musician. All artists, writers are artists. I mean, in that form too. So, but Shel Silverstein, that's an interesting idol there. That's really
crazy.
Cool, man. Yeah.
I got into the fact that I heard one day. I was always a fan of Shel Silverstein, but it wasn't that big of a study on it until one day I heard the fact. I think it was David Allan Coe or somebody. Was covering a Shel Silverstein song. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I had no clue.
I had no idea he was actually that good of a musician or a songwriter and everything else. And then went back and looked at it. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's wrote a ton of hits for people.
That's
it's crazy.
So crazy.
Well,
dude, I'm about to go down a rabbit hole on YouTube for the next 5 hours after this. Thanks a lot for that. I appreciate that. That's crazy.
Well, y'all had Little Jack on a couple of weeks ago,
yeah.
and he covers a Shel Silverstein song, actually.
Like, didn't even,
dude, I'm so proud of you,
That's
man.
so cool, man.
He and I got to play together yesterday at I'm sorry if I'm derailing the train.
Please,
you know,
no, there's no train. No, there's zero trains. We're walking on the tracks.
He's my little buddy, and we get to play a lot of shows together. We got to play yesterday in Fort Worth at Magnolia Motor Lounge for a big cool. Charity event. And
see, what
it's
energy.
Always good when we get to share a stage together.
What
man.
energy that kid's got, man!
I know it's crazy.
Unbelievable.
10 years old, and he can literally slay a guitar better than I can.
He is
man.
possessed. He's just a madman. I cannot wait to see him grow into that. It's gonna be so nuts.
Yeah.
Not that he can't do it now, but I mean, geez, he's killing it. But oh man, so much potential there. Yeah,
it's nuts.
And the boots. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
it's all about the boots, right?
Why he doesn't have a boot sponsorship right now, I don't know.
He's probably just too young. It probably gets like illegal or something. No, he's about to for sure. This guy is gonna be nuts. So it's just such an interesting background, and especially the idea of having these wadded up things that you put thought and heart into, just like every song for any artist, really. Well, hopefully any artist.
Yeah.
And turning it into that, man, that's such a cool idea. And then again, the daughter's artwork.
Yeah.
I mean, that's even the cherry on top. Sorry, I'll keep harping on the writing thing, but man, it's just so unique to see that, and the fact it's funding music, which is even more incredible. That's happening. So
it's done well, man.
That's really cool.
The books are they're doing better than the music side of it, I guess.
Well, hey, man, we'll help you promote whatever you want, man. You get on, you just help. Let us help you, man. We're here for you. So very cool. So. And you spent a lot of time in Nashville too. You've been writing a lot of stuff up there. Tell us about that scene there. I know we've all heard countless times about it, but
it's weird, and you get thrown in some rooms sometimes, and there's kind of like we hope that you can be creative for this hour and
have fun. Like, lock the door. Yeah.
Here's some weird person we're gonna put in a room with you, and it's like, okay, cool. So sometimes it's a bizarre event, and sometimes it's pretty cool. I for the last 5 years, I've been the dream of life is to basically just sell a song that truly does something, gets me the Grammy Award, and makes me not have to work ever again in my life. And not that I'm working right now, but anything. But other than that, just to travel around and do songwriter festivals everywhere.
That's awesome.
And I got invited out like 4 years ago to the Smoky Mountain Songwriter Festival in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Cool.
And that's really where I started doing a lot of the Memphis or the Nashville back and forth stuff. Was around that because I built a tour around that festival now for the past 4 years.
Okay.
So I'll be in Nashville the whole week before when the Smoky Mountain Songwriter Festival is going on.
When is
in
that?
Gatlinburg. August 16th through 20th.
Okay, fall.
Mid-August. Cool. Anyway, the point I was getting at there was, Nashville's great, but when you go 6-7 more hours down the road and get into Gatlinburg, then you realize what you're doing it for, because the first year I got invited to the thing, I never even heard of it before. And when I got there, I got in town on Friday, and they had given me my first slot of the night at like 9:15 on a Friday night. I'm like, wow, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, that's a great spot. And then the next one was like Saturday day at 5 o'clock at like Dollywood or something like that. So I thought, well, that's cool. I'll get to go to Dollywood too.
Sure, yeah.
But so anyway, I got in town, got into my hotel and everything else, and I got to the venue like an hour before my set, but I kind of wanted to catch the guy before me and hang around and see some of these artists and everything else. And there were staggering songwriters all throughout the day through downtown Gatlinburg, which is maybe 30 venues. So got people going off every 45 minutes or so to an hour or whatever else. Anyway, I got to the venue, and there was a guy playing, and there was about 30 or 40 people in there that were just glued to the stage.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh man, this is great. This is what every songwriter dreams about.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing right here. Like, it's just
the room. You got the room. Yeah.
And so the guy that was playing, late 60s, maybe early 70s.
Damn.
Buttery voice, great guitar player. I thought, man, this is awesome, catching somebody like this. Well, anyway, the last song that he played, he started to tell a story behind it, and the people started clapping and cheering and everything else. And so I'm listening in intently on the song, and I'm like, what? And all of a sudden, he starts playing A Love Without End, Amen. the George Strait song. His name's Aaron Barker, and he wrote that song, and he wrote one or two other George Strait hits. And now here I am going, I gotta follow that guy. Like, holy crap, you know.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
The crowd's going nuts. Everything else. He stuck around for my set and came over and shook my hand after it, and I was just floored, man. So anyway, every year I go back now, I meet somebody that has written something that's like a mega big time hit and everything. It's
awesome.
so cool, you know. It's to be around songwriters like that, you know.
Yeah. I got to ask you,
because the songwriter side of it is different than the artist side of it in
that's
a lot
what
of
I was
ways.
gonna,
Because some songwriter would be walking down the street, you would
idea.
never know that
Why would
guy
you?
might have written, you know, multi-Grammy award-winning hit, something like that. You know?
That's exactly what I was gonna go to, is like getting his perspective. I know you don't have to tell me your whole conversation with him, but like, what was something that he was a key point for him? Just like keep writing, I assume. I mean, geez, like,
I mean, I didn't even get into that.
You just got it, I guess.
But I think that's the deal. I think he just
that's
was
just
one of those
incredible,
dudes that it was just right. And it's when you. I don't mean for this to sound cliche or whatever, but when you're like a true songwriter and you can literally pump out songs like every week, your mind is just different because you look at the world kind of differently, and you just see things like right now, me and you having this conversation right now, I can like just look around and see certain things and be like, that's a song right there.
Sure.
You know, the clinking of the glasses just now, you know, somebody clinked their glass just now. I thought, man, that's a good song title right there, or something like that, glasses. You know. So it's just
you see the world in that
weird.
way.
You're like hyper, you know, acute to, you know, what's going on around you and everything else. You pick up on things, you know.
But the kicker with a songwriter is that you can tie it together. Because I know plenty of people that can work a room, but it's tying it back together to making it. Oh, and then throwing melody on it. Okay, please, really kidding me?
Yeah.
Give me a break. Yeah, that's the gift, man.
Right.
That's no nuts. Okay, cool. So we're gonna have to pitch that songwriter festival just to have people. Oh my gosh, get out there. How far west is it? I assume west. Yeah.
It's like an hour outside of Knoxville, I think.
Okay.
So yeah,
a couple hours west.
Knoxville area. Knoxville Airport's probably the closest thing, I think.
Okay. Oh, you got to drive out there.
Yeah. Oh, I drive it because there's just nothing like driving in the Smoky Mountains. That's
cool.
It's great, man. And I got invited to the Druid City Songwriter Festival this year in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, next month, actually. So I get to go kind of make the trek out there twice this year and everything else, which is pretty cool. I mean, I'm usually making it twice anywhere for just songwrites in Nashville or whatever else, you know, for a week and everything else like that. But this time I guess I get to do 3 treks out that way.
Yeah. See, I'm glad we had you on, too, because that's a totally different perspective that I've even overlooked as a host of this show. Because, I mean, obviously our goal is to help artists that are up and coming find their way into the scene, whether, you know, however they can get to do it. And the songwriting circle, the tour, if you will, or whatever you want to call it, that's out there. It exists. It's there. Go find it. It's not going to be in your, you know, Nashville's. And I'm sure there are, obviously, but you got to go find those pockets of them. And both those towns you just named are, you know, is that on someone's radar really? I mean, come on.
I know it's crazy. It's unless you're like really, really looking for them, you never find them. But when you find them, you're like, oh my God, this is like, whoa.
Yeah. I don't mean to toot our own horn either, but that's what our next endeavor is, trying to do a songwriter circle or event, something like that, to where it's, I mean, this is entertaining here tonight, but we want something a little more intimate where it's like you said, that room 40 that's just listening to you, and then we get someone like that comes through town. That would be, oh man, that was just so heavy.
For sure.
Love to have that. So what else you got coming up this year? I mean, anything other than those, obviously?
Yeah, I got, I haven't let this cat out of the bag yet, but I'll let it out of the bag now.
Oh, all right.
I got pitched to do a screenplay based off of the book. And and they said, you know, you lived it, so you can direct it. And I thought, this is not really for real, but there's actually a backing company in L.A. that is really interested in it. And
wow.
I'm like, wow, dude, that's crazy. So
dude.
I got to, you know, rewrite it quite a bit to make it a full-on story movie kind of thing, because it's just a lot of chopped up stories. But it's basically about this dude, me, I guess, I don't know, that just has nonstop crazy chaos in his world. But he makes light of it and makes it really... I'm talking about myself in third person right now.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
That's what writers do.
Yes, exactly. I was going to say.
But he keeps making light of it because he's just a funny and jovial dude. He just loves the comedy and life and everything else. And so they want me to kind of make it into this rom-com where it's this dude just dating nonstop, just crazy girls, and nothing ever works out for him, and crazy chaos. And he goes through the heart surgery and everything else, which I did, and it finally finds the girl, and then who knows what happens after that. I won't give away the ending, but who knows what happens after that.
Oh, man, that's amazing. Congratulations on that.
Thanks, man.
That is really cool. That is craziness.
I've been writing like wildfire on that kind of thing lately.
I imagine so. Well, that's pretty big. You're going to be tied down pretty good with that then, huh?
I like it. If I can just keep my mind busy at all times, then I don't have any problems. But it's when I don't have anything to do, the voices start talking to me. What are you doing right now?
There's no truer words have been said from a writer. That's for sure, man.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you hanging out with us up here, Rob. We're going to hear some tunes from you and some others tonight.
Yeah.
Get this kicked off here in a minute. If you're not here yet, again, get down to the ranch in Las Colinas, Texas. Everyone else here is already hanging out, drinking, having a good time. Rob, dig it, man. Looking forward to hearing some tunes.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome.
I don't remember that month of December when I said I surrendered to my last ride. And I don't recall back in the fall when I hit the wall. Every time that I tried, whoa, no, if this is my last rodeo, could I stick around as your rodeo clown? Well, it ain't the same playing this game without the fame that I'd never known. This dirt on my cheeks, hell, it's been there for weeks. With all of the peaks, the valleys below. Oh no, this is my last rodeo. Could I stick around as your rodeo clown? 8 seconds too late when I came out the gate for your heart. If this is the end, honey, just tell me when I should start to get over you, to get over you. Could I stick around as your rodeo clown? Could I stick around as your rodeo